Hello and welcome to Rank Class. Today I'm going to talk about manners, um, both online and in real life, because I have witnessed how we have become more and more accustomed to not looking at manners. And it's kind of crazy how we all evolved into a point where we became so focused on ourselves that we actually forgot our good manners. We actually forgot how to show empathy and be good to other people. And especially online. Online has just become a crazy place where you can jump into conversations and you can see that people are yelling and cursing at each other, and it's bad to say it right. We need to look at manners again. We need to look and teach our coming generations and ourselves again what it means to have good manners, to say thank you, to actually be aware of other people having emotions so you don't just yell at them because something bad happened. One of the places I see this most is when I worked in a shop as a person at the counter, because people for some reason can become very emotional when you are in a shop and someone at the cashier register made an error. I have actually witnessed people yell at me or others because uh, they were paying like $1 more than that you should do. And instead of just saying, hey, I think you charged this wrong, and then get the dollar back, they became so angry that they began to yell at us why we made that error and stuff like that. Even people who came in wanting their money back for items, but they didn't have proof of them actually buying the item there, and then becoming really, really mad that we couldn't remember that they bought that item 2 days ago in here and yelling at us. And that is insane. I have actually seen grown men fight because of stuff like that, and it's just crazy that people can come to that point and become so angry over basically like $2 that they will fight another person instead of remembering, oh yeah, I'm talking to another person. I'm talking to someone who is just trying to do their job. You can get results without getting angry, without having to always yelling at people and being mad at people. And then online, I like to play some games at times. And I play a lot of different games, but it's insane how bad mannered a lot of people online are. I don't know where it comes from, because if they are so in that game that they want to win, and if the game is losing in some way, they begin to become very toxic, begin to yell at people, to write stuff that they shouldn't write. And I have seen kids do it, I have seen adults do it, and it scares me every time. Not because I get scared of people writing mean stuff, but because I get scared of where we are as a society, where we are in a place where this is normal. And it's not good. Companies all around is trying to make us talk nicer to each other. Most games have a reporting system, so you can report people who are toxic and who is they are filling the chat up with toxic behavior, and it can kill a game. It can kill a community, and that is sad, since most of us actually play games to be social. But it's hard to be social in a game when the social community is so toxic. And if we were just beginning to look at manners, just speak nice to someone, speak in a good manner instead of just always yelling and cursing, it will help a lot more. Because as soon as you begin to curse at people, as soon as you begin to blame people, they go into a defensive position. And then they might not actually be able to see if they made an error or not. because they're just thinking, oh my God, this person is crazy. I'm just gonna back away. I'm just gonna get away from this person. But if you actually talk to a person in a calm voice and remember your manners and say yes, thanks, and that would be nice, and stuff like that, you can actually come a long way. People will be more inclined to actually help you if you have good manners. And again, I know this from the real world that if you ask nicely for something in a shop, there's a bigger chance that the person you asked would actually help you than if you just come up over to them and curse at them and telling them I couldn't find this item because it's this store is just fucked up, then the person will be more like, it's over there, go look, instead of actually saying, oh, I know what it is, I will show you. So good manners can get you a long way, and it's a good thing to learn and remember. But the only way we can teach good manners is actually if we as a society began to become more aware of what we are saying and doing, both in real life and online, and then becoming more self-aware that what we are doing is sending out an image to everyone around us that this is okay. And if a lot of young people actually see this happening over and over and over again, they will be like, oh yeah, that's just normal. That's how it is in this community. This is how it is in this shop. Everyone is yelling and cursing all the time. Um, then they will think that is normal. So we have to talk about manners. We have to be taught manners. And the only way to do that is actually to talk about it, to do some talks where you might role play a situation with your children. Um, like if you get charged more than you should in a shop, what should you do? What if you get charged less than you should? What should you do? I know a lot of people who would never go back in a shop if they were given the wrong amount of money back. But the problem is the cashier sitting there made the error and can get punished because of that error. But most people are just like, well, I get an extra dollar, I don't care. And it can actually harm that person in the end. And that is not good. So we actually have to be able to look at ourselves, look inwards, look at our being and our manners. And as soon as our manners are better, then we can teach better manners to the coming generations and become more aware of it. And one of the easiest places to start is online, to look at how you commit yourself online. How do you comment on posts? How do you speak online? What language do you use? Do you use a neutral language, aggressive language, so a calming language? Are you polite? And that is actually something we all need to look at. And I love the story that were some time ago of a young adult who linked his grandma's Google searches because grandma always asked politely because she had good manners. She didn't know that the Google search is just an engine who will search what you ask for, but she said, could you please? And thank you afterwards. And that is good manners, and I would love to see such manners all around. So something we become more aware of, that we are doing it every day instead of actually being doing the opposite of having bad manners online. We began to have good manners online because that will mean that if we set the standard to be this, to be good, then everyone who is doing all the bad comments and doing all that, they will be more inclined to actually see that what they're doing is wrong because everyone else is still having a good conversation. And I believe that we as adults have to set a standard for the coming generations, but also our own generation. And the only way we can do that is if we in unity begin to look at how we conduct ourselves in real life and how we show the rest of the world we conduct ourselves in real life. So I do hope that by the end of this, you will try and look inward, try and look at your own behavior, and try and adjust it into some good manners. It can take time because if you're just used to being aggressive all the time, it takes time to learn to not be aggressive all the time. If you are used to having bad manners, not saying thank you or please, and just leaving a mess wherever you are, throwing things out of your window of the car instead of taking it home and putting it in the trash where it belongs, then it takes time to change that. And it's something you can only change if you look inward, if you look at what you're doing yourself, because you cannot change the world before you change yourself. So I hope you found this an eye-opening talk, and I hope that you are now looking into your own manners. So I wish you a very pleasant day. This has been Raglas. Bye.